solo.
And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. It's a beautiful day on a Thursday, and by beautiful I mean it's cold and rainy, and I love the cold. So, it's beautiful to me. You know, it is what it is. Stay inside, play some board games, have some fun ish. I don't know. I have such a weird relationship with this game. I'm so intrigued, and I like it, and I haven't sold it, and that's probably thanks in part to Saget and Sarah and other people who have been like, "No, take another look." What's up, Silverfear? Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, Brian. Look, so there's a lot I really like, and there's a lot that drives me nuts, and it's Christmas week, so I'm gonna spare you my normal diatribes about some of the production decisions of Imperium Legends. The gameplay is interesting when you get into the different factions. I'm not sure how I feel about the Arthurians. I have gotten my butt kicked twice against the Atlanteans. I have a strategy in mind that I've been mulling over all night. I didn't sleep. No, I slept. But I have an idea to try to salvage a win here. Remember the last time I put a challenge on, I featured a live stream of Imperium Legends. I played as the Atlanteans in what should have been a fairly easy matchup for me, and then I messed up and I did not keep track of the unrest pile, and we went into utter turmoil very quickly. That was like a 20-minute playthrough, I think, from a gameplay standpoint. So hopefully I've learned my lesson here, and we will not like have a 20-minute game. But you know, this seems to be a much tougher matchup, and I am going to have to do something with the Arthurians to try to shorten the game, because the longer this game goes, that is definitely advantage Atlanteans, at least in my limited understanding. Saget can come along and tell me that I'm playing this wrong, and you know, whenever he can get here. But you know, he's doing silly things like working. So anyway, let's go. We have the unrest pile. The Arthurians do come with 2 cards that have that little arrow symbol. That means they're just added to the unrest pile at the start of the game. So we have 10 cards in the unrest pile instead of 8. As soon as it goes empty, some things happen. Hopefully I won't have to worry about it. If it does, if we do have the pile empty at some point, I will have to read the instructions, and you know, we'll figure that out then. We have the what do they call these stupid cards? Like, one of these days I'm gonna have the verbiage down. These are fame cards. We have our fame cards. The King of Kings card will be on the A side. Nope. And flip this card. Yep. So King of Kings card is on the A side. We put that there. I'm gonna take these 7 cards. The rule book is again, no grumble. I'm not even gonna I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna bite those words. We're gonna take out 2 cards, which is very clearly and not at all bizarrely stated in the rulebook, and we're just going to put them off to the side, and then we're going to take the rest of these cards and put them horizontally across here like that. We're going to take the region deck. We're going to shuffle this up. I'm going to take 6 cards off the top, and we're going to put this on the top side of that line. Now, before someone tells me in the comments, yes, I know this camera over here is not doing all that much, but you know, I had the space, might as well fill it. Some people really do like that other alternate angle of the table, you know, in addition to the overhead, and it's obviously a lot more like what you would be seeing in real life, you know, if you were sitting at my table. But you know, it is teach his own, to teach his own. I mean, I think it adds a little bit extra perspective, and again, everything was set up from yesterday, so why not use it today? So that is the 6 cards there. We're going to put the rest of these region cards here. We now have the Uncivilized deck. I'm going to shuffle this up. Uncivilized deck is that, I think that's the right order. Is that the order they put them in? Or is the green and the gray backwards? Nope, that's right. Green goes that way. Green on this side, gray on that side. I don't know why they couldn't just make one board that did all of this. I seriously got bored with like that. Just I mean, a small board that just folded would make so much, or even like 3 panels that have like places for where the cards go. I mean, the table presence I think would be a lot better. And I think even the learning process, you could put like little like rule things on there. Oh, I can't even help myself, man. We're how far into this playthrough that I promised I wouldn't grumble about how this game was designed from a experiential standpoint, and I think I've grumbled 7 times. So I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. It's Christmas, Greg. It's Christmas. Be merry. Ho ho ho. Let's go. Anyway, so I put the 6 uncivilized cards up there. The rest are down here. We have our civilized cards. Again, I'm going to take 6 of these, put them on the top. 3, 4, 5, 6. They go up here, and now we have this stack of tributary cards. Now, I've said this every day for a while. There is construction going on in my house. So if you hear in the background, that is in the background. So I do think doesn't sound exactly like that, but that's pretty close. So I do think the noise canceling on my headphones has kept the distracting noise to a minimum over these last couple of weeks. But in case someone does hear that, that's great. You have great hearing, and good for you. So hopefully, I will no longer have men, drilling things in my house from obscene hours of the morning in a month or less. So obviously, they will be taking Christmas off, which is great. So we'll not have any drilling for a while as we, try to host people while we're in the middle of a major construction project, because that's what Sarah and I decided to do. I am rambling today, if you can't tell. I haven't slept a lot. So here we are. But yeah, I don't know if anyone made it through all of the 6 hours of my playthrough of Dawn of the Zeds yesterday. I was hoping to play Imperium a bit more yesterday, but 6 hours with Dawn of the Zeds kind of made that really hard to do. So I have only played this matchup again twice, and I got shellacked both times. I think again I have some mechanics. There are kind of 2 ways you can go with the Arthurians. One is the way of good, but it's a little slow. One is the way of bad, but it's faster. It also does run the risk of us going into unrest, but hopefully we can avoid that. So I have shuffled here in this deck. We have all the tributary cards, and we have whatever. Speaking is hard. It's a tough word. Whatever was left of the region deck, the civilized deck, and the uncivilized deck, and we're going to put this here. We're going to flip over 1 card for each of these slots, including 2 here. So we have City, that is a uncivilized card. It has both a civilized and an uncivilized marker at the bottom. It's worth a victory point at the end of the game. I know these are pretty far away, but I'll try to explain what all these cards do. During Solstice, you may discard a card to choose to gain 1 population or gain 1. What's the word for this? Ugh. Why do I forget all of these things? It just keeps showing me the symbol. I don't even know what it's called. This population, it's got to be a resource. Let's say resource. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. This is a Vikings. Is a tributary card. Woof. Giving the Atlanteans attack cards is super bad. So that is something I'm going to try to get early. It is also an Empire card, though. For me to play Empire cards is not easy because I always stay in the Barbarian state. There are things I can do, there are tricks I can do to be able to play an Empire card. So that's going to be important. But again, keeping them from getting attack cards is really, really important because their attack cards are super nasty. We have the Moneylenders. That is a civilized card. Oh, by the way, to the Vikings, what do? Gain 2 resources, steal 2 resources from each other player. Anyone able to pay you takes a unrest. We have the Moneylender. Free play, pay 3 resources to gain an action. We have the Code of Laws, which is the uncivilized card. We can exhaust it to draw a card. Again, that would stay in play. It has the infinity symbol at the top. And then we have this card here, which is our region. This is the grassland. Exile a card from the market. You may garrison a card, solstice, draw a card, and discard a card. Now, note the points here are important. So one of the reasons, too, to try to keep these away from the Atoma, the Atlanteans, is that they will get 5 points into the game for each of the cards they have that have an asterisk in the VP symbol. So it's like that little gold circle in the bottom right. So the unrest pile's there. What we're going to do is add an unrest card to each non-region No, yeah, each non-region will get a rest card. Bam, and bam. Sorry about that. And then we're going to add a progress token to all of these civilized cards. So if there was an uncivilized card that had a civilized symbol, it would not get a progress token. It's only the civilized cards. I'm going to shuffle up my deck over here. Silver Fear asks, what am I renovating? We are getting a third floor put on top of our house. So, yeah, we live in the city. Getting another house in our neighborhood was a lot. It actually was a lot smarter for us to just build another floor on top of the existing house that we already have and do love. So it was just it's a bit of a process. It's very cool. Like, it's very surreal. I walked up a staircase through a roof, or what, like, yeah, our old roof, because now we have like a new roof, because whatever, we have a new structure on top of the house. So I walked those two stairs, like, through our roof, and you could like see like the old layers of tar. I mean, it's the old city roofs, man. It's very, very surreal. I feel like I was in an MC Escher painting for sure. The tree, what's up, Mike? Hey, long time no see. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Eric Bergman, hey Greg, just checking in to say hi before dinner. It is 1700 here in Sweden, so 5 p.m. for those who are not familiar with military time. Are you getting any new games from Santa on Christmas Eve? I hope not. No, seriously, I've gotten so many new games with packs, and Hopamaka's Victorium Kickstarter just came in yesterday with a bunch of new Too Many Bone stuff. I just counted. I had like 0 games on my shelf of shame, and now my shelf of shame is up to 20, or my shelf of opportunity. Because do not be negative about shaming. Yeah, I don't mean to mock people who find that very important, but it's a thing. It was a joke. It was a joke. I was just joking. Yeah, I have like 20 games. A bunch of review copies came in. So that's why we'll be doing a bunch of like new games in the next month and a half. I want to get through the review copies and then get into my new to me games. I mean, Nemesis, Etherfields, Set a Watch I'm putting on the channel tomorrow. Starships Captains was a review copy sent my way. Reckland Run's coming in today. I think Warp's Edge. Dude, I mean, there's so many. I mean, and then I have some competitive games that won't be on the channel that I'm excited to kind of dig in with some friends, for sure. So, I mean, there's a lot. Gollum is a game I got that I'm really excited about. Picked that up in a trade, a very unique trade with Patrick Erb, who I told this story. He was like, "I'll give you this for this price, but you got to play Spirit Island with me at PAX," and it was hilarious. And I was like, "All right, that's a freaking deal." Twist my arm, making me play Spirit Island more. Oh no. Yeah, we got smashed, but it was very fun. So we had some very challenging spirits in a guard the Isle's Heart scenario against England's war. Yeah, I don't know. It was a pretty wild challenge. All right, over here I do not have a development area. What I have is impending quests, and I have 5 of them. One of them is the Graal. If we get to the Graal, well, obviously that would trigger endgame, because that is the whole point of what the Arthurians want to do in life. One of these is an Empire card, so we're going to have to find creative ways to be able to play that. And then we have Excalibur, because of course we do I don't know what that is. It's a big warthog. It's a thing. It's negative points if we still have it in our possession at the end of the game. Once we have it in play, which we will want to get it in play though, because it gives us some cool abilities. And then we have Launcelot Lynn, Sir Lancelot. Sir Lancelot is a knight. So this knight symbol is super important. We'll see this on a few of my cards. I think I have 7 knights total in my deck. It is important to keep track of that. I only start with 3 in my starter deck. I think there's 1 in this nation deck. That sounds about right. And then obviously there's supposed to be 2 in here, 3 in there, and then we have the 1 in our quest area. So for most nations, they have a development area that they can only start digging into once they reach empire status. We will never become an empire, so we will not have the normal development that most nations do. We play very, very strange. We also have 2 power cards. Most nations only have 1. The power card has 2 sides. It's recommended to start on the B side if you're a new player. I should probably start on the B side, but I'm not very smart, so we're going to do the A side. So there's an exhaust ability on here. I can discard a card to draw a knight from my discard pile. That could be super important. And then Solstice, I can discard a card to gain 1 progress token. The progress tokens are pretty flexible. When spending things, I could use a progress token as either 2 resources, or I can use it as 1 population. That has 2 people on it, but it's only 1 population because that makes sense. Merry Christmas. Anyway, so I'll put this there on the A side. The other power card we have is King Arthur's Court. As a passive ability, a impending quest can or yeah, our quest can be garrisoned here to make it become from the impending quest to be now becomes the active quest. As an exhaust ability, if Camelot is in play, I can discard a card to return an unrest, which could be super useful. And during solstice, if there is no active quest, I may take an unrest into my hand to garrison an impending quest, and the garrison quest would obviously go there to make it the active quest, etc., etc., etc. Now, at the end of the game, I get 1 victory point per civilized card, and that could be important. The other thing I'm going to do here is that this is my nation deck. My nation deck has this card at the bottom. Now, normally this is a really, really good card, and you want to get there as fast as you can to become an empire. With the Arthurians, don't do that. Once we get this, once we would gain it, so not when it's revealed, once we would gain it, instead of it going in our discard pile like normal, it would actually go in play. When it's in play, it makes us start losing knights. So Gweth Kamlan, I don't know the Arthurian legend as well as I probably should to really fully appreciate this, but supposedly she's really bad, and this is like the end of the Arthurian thing that was happening, and it kind of indicates that hey, we're starting to lose knights in battle, and can be a really bad thing. So we kind of don't want to do any kind of extreme deck thinning. We don't want to get to the point where we're going through our nation deck as quickly as most of the other nations want to in this game. So these are just going to be shuffled, and we're going to put them face down over Gweth. Whenever we have to, I'm sorry, I'm butchering all these freaking names, dude. So somebody who's like an Arthurian legend scholar, I'm sorry. I'm just I'm just sorry. I'm upfront about how sorry I am. We're gonna call that a day. So we're gonna pick these nation cards, and we're gonna put them across just like we did with the King of Kings card up there. Oh, killing me. I start the game with 3 resources, 2 population, and a progress token. I also start with 5 of these exhaust tokens, which basically means that I would only be, I literally have never been in the game where I've had more than 2 or 3, maybe 4. So, but if I ever had another card with an exhaust ability, I would not be able to use it if I don't have any more of these tokens. So you want to make sure if there's things you really want to do, if you have a bunch of exhaust abilities out, that you prioritize them, because again, you only have a limited number of exhaust abilities that you can do in a turn. The game also comes with these little tokens to keep track of how many turns you've used. I think that's insane. I've played enough Arkham that I know I can count to 3 pretty regularly. I mean, it's not, it's sometimes a little sketchy, I get it, but yeah, I don't use those tokens. I think they're a waste of space. All right, over here, we got to set up our friends, the Atlanteans. Let me check the comments. Mike, why not throw Twilight Inscription into the mix? Good luck with the backlog. Twilight Inscription's good. I played it 4 times. I didn't love it at first. I was like, why would I not just play Hadrian's Wall instead? I still find some of the aspects of it a little bit forced in there, trying to bring in all of the facets of TI4. But now that I kind of have seen, all right, this is how you can score like maximum points on all 4 of the different boards, and you can specialize, and then the faction abilities add some really nice wrinkles. I've grown to really like it. I hate those pens. I hate the dry erase part of it. It does, that orange crap gets everywhere. There's a lot of the production I'm like, oh, I don't want to own it. But from a mechanics and a game standpoint, my friend has it and he really likes it. He wants to play it. I'll definitely play that again. I would like to explore it more, and I do think it has more replayability than Hadrian's Wall, because every game is just so different, and every what you're doing can depend so radically on what faction you are. So there's a lot of cool things there. Eric Bergman, looking forward to seeing Etherfields and Set a Watch. Set a Watch, I really like that game. I so like that game a surprising amount. And again, it could be one of those things that 20 plays in, I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna win every time. It's not, the challenge isn't there, but early returns are like, whoa, that's a very fun, very dynamic, very quick little game. that does a lot of very cool things with a very straightforward, relatively simple rule set, which I appreciate. All right, we're gonna. I should not be shuffling these. Ugh! The former poker dealer and me. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take these two cards that are regions, and we're gonna set them aside. So the Atlanteans have a very specific setup. Now this is their nation deck. Nation deck again, they're going to gain a card every time they need to draw a card and they're out of cards, just like that's the same thing we're going to do over here. I think I started to say that and then I got distracted because, I'm like a fish and I'm like, oh, fuzzy thing over there. I'm going to take everything that's worth 5 points to the Atlantean. So that's the Palace of Poseidon and Advanced Culture. And we are going to, let me start with the oneers. Yeah, let me start with the oneers. So there's one card in their nation deck that's worth 1. I'm going to put that up here. Now, the Atlanteans also do not have an Ascent card because we have a Nadir card, which is funny. They don't have an Ascent card either because they start as an empire. So we're always barbarians and never become an empire. They're always an empire and don't start as barbarians, which is it's cool. It's like the clash of the two ends of the two different ends of the spectrum. All right, we have these 3 cards that are all 2 points to the Atlanteans. We have myths and legends, moats and walls, and development. I'm going to shuffle these up. Normally, you would just put this thing down in ascending order, but it doesn't matter for the Atlanteans based on their rules. Again, I ripped this out of the book because I found the way the book does things really stupid. But grumble, grumble, grumble. Merry Christmas. All right, we're going to put these 3 cards over here. We're going to get this, and this is the only card that gives them 3 points. That's going to go on top of that. The only card that gives them 4 points goes on top of that. This is a 5-point card and an asterisk. Both of them are going to give the Atlanteans 5 points, so we're going to shuffle these up. And then these 2 cards that we set aside, these regions, we're going to shuffle these up and just put them on top. Now, normally you would put the higher point cards on top. With the Atlanteans, again, their setup is a little bit different. They really do want to have a couple of regions out. So this is the way that just adds 2 regions to their deck. We're now going to take the 10 cards they have with the blue corner here. Now, 3 of them are unrest cards. So us going into chaos is unlikely because the Atlanteans are going to be throwing so many unrest cards into the mix pretty early. We're going to take these 10 cards, shuffle them up, and now this is their draw deck. Now I'm playing on the Overlord difficulty, which I probably shouldn't be, but I am, and it's fine. And we're going to put 1 card out under each of these numbers, and this is going to be their turn. They're going to have 5 actions a turn because one of these cards will not trigger, but the other 5 will, and we'll see that play out. All right, Jonathan, good morning, cool matchup. Atlanteans can be tough to beat. Yeah, I've learned. They walloped me yesterday, and yeah, the rulebooks for these are so bad. Among other things, Jonathan Kinkowski, but don't get me started because it's Christmas and I'm trying to be nice. All right, let me draw my opening hand. Booyah, we have the Britannia Prima. It says draw a card, I may garrison a card. I will be garrisoning my face off. We have Merdin Wilt Merlin. He abandoned 3 knights garrisoned in a region to draw the active quest into your hand. Now, I do not have an active quest, so alas, I will need to figure out a way to make that happen. Britannia Secunda, it is draw a card, you may garrison a card. We have Urith Pendragon, breakthrough for a uncivilized card, and put this card into your history. And then Kafal, free play, draw 2 cards, and return a card to the top of your deck. Now, again, I said that their attack cards are pretty nasty. The Atlanteans do start with 1 attack card, so there's a good chance it's on the board here. So I just have to be prepared that I'm going to have to recall a region likely, and that makes me somewhat sad. I really don't want them to get the Vikings, and I don't think I'm going to be able to stop them. And that's going to make me sad. I'm not going to lie. There's like no way to like acquire a tributary card with these starter cards. But That's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Uther Pendragon. I'm going to break through for a uncivilized card and put this card into my history. Bye-bye. Thanks for playing. I break through for this. Now, when you break through, you do not get the unrest card that's underneath it. I took the Code of Laws, exhaust draw a card. That could be helpful. And then this comes out. Of course, that's going to give them 5 points. Why do I even play this game? So Quinat came out, exhaust. It has some things on there. If they end up getting it, we will deal with it then. Oh, that was not good. I'm going to play Code of Laws. We'll exhaust him to draw a card. We have Guinevere. I do not have King Arthur in my hand. I don't know what else I'm gonna do here. Sure, then I'm gonna play Britannia Secunda. This is my third action, so this is it. This is all I got, kids. I did manage to count the 3, so everyone can be impressed. It says I can draw a card. I can garrison a card. I will garrison King Arthur. Hopefully, I do not have to recall that. I have some ideas for what I can do on my next turn. That is fine. And now at the end of my turn, I have to put a victory point on one of these, a progress token on one of these things. I will just put it here because, you know, who cares? Maybe they'll abandon that card. Maybe they'll exile that card, which would be amazing. And then I'm going to discard as many cards as I want. Oh, I could free play Kafal. During my turn, I could have free played this. It doesn't count against my actions. So it says I can draw 2 cards and return a card to the top of my deck. I got Morgana and Kai. I'm going to put Kai back on. No, I'm going to put Morgana back on top of my deck. And then at the end of my turn, do I want to discard any cards? Do I want to start going through that deck so quickly? Probably not. Probably not. I will not. I will just. Oh, I need King Arthur. Where's King? Oh, King Arthur's there. I was like, I thought I had him. And I'll just pick up Morgana, and let's not get close to that nadir anytime soon. Well, if I'm trying to think, I would have to drop this and this. That would be silly. No, I'll start getting through that next turn. I only have 7 cards here, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it doesn't take much. And again, once she's out, life gets super difficult. So we'll probably try to avoid that. All right, that's the end of my turn. We're going to go to, oh, this would also get cleared off the Code of Laws. And that's fine. We're going to go to the Atlanteans' turn. We rolled a number. We rolled a 6. The only thing with the 6, it just means at the end of their turn, they will not be adding a progress token. Normally, the progress token at the end of the turn, wherever that die roll goes, they will carry out cards 1 through 5. They will not carry out card 6. Let's see if they got their attack. So, first card they get is the Elysian Fields. And the only thing we care about are the symbols, right? So, region, empire symbol, and the infinity symbol. We're going to go to the little chart for the Atlanteans. We're going to find the first one that matches a symbol on that card. We have a region. Exile a card from the market. Perfect. So they got rid of the Vikings, which makes me happy because that attack was making me scared. We're going to replace that. It's a region, so we don't have to worry about an unrest card there. And now they're going to put this card into play. Bam. That worked out extremely well. Next card. It's an unrest card. It just goes into the unrest pile. The next card. It's prosperity. So first thing that matches. So it's prosperity. It's also an empire card. Prosperity is here. They're going to gain a point, a progress token for each played region. I may draw a card. Sure. It's not gonna matter really, but sure. I got Per Redur, Sir Percival. I can return an unrest, and I may garrison in a region to trigger that card's play effect or find the Graal card on my discard pile or draw deck and then exile this card. The Graal card is in my quest area, so I'm very far away from that. So now I did draw a card. This is going to go into the discard of the Atlanteans. 2 more to go, so they're going to exile a card. They exile the the card, most left card does not have a progress token on it. So that's why I put that progress token there to try to get them to discard that. It worked. Sometimes I look like I know what I'm doing. The Greeks come out. Again, because we're emptying from here, we will take from that deck. If we were exiling cards from any of these piles, we would take the card that's directly above it. And then this gets put in play. So they have 2 regions in play already. And I'm just going to put the regions on top of each other like that because we're going to need the space. This is going to come out. The last card is an unrest. Ended their turn. Again, they don't put a progress token there. We slide that down. We put 5 more cards out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So they had exactly enough cards to not have to shuffle their deck, which makes me happy. All right. Did they start with that many cards? I feel like I messed something up. No, I guess with all the unrest, we'll see. I'll do a count later. So now we go to Solstice. So at the Solstice thing, I have a couple of abilities. I can discard a card to gain a progress token. That sounds wonderful. Sure, I'll discard Sir K here, and I can gain a progress token. Now you got to be careful of the progress tokens because sometimes having a lot of progress tokens with the Atlanteans isn't great because they start stealing progress tokens from you, and it's really annoying. But I digress. I don't have any other Solstice abilities, so I'm not going to worry about that. On my turn, I'm going to do the following. Oh, I don't have... I was thinking about abandoning King Arthur, but I realized I don't have an Empire card, so that is silly. And I have no way of getting an Empire card. What did I get? I just got the... Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. I should have garrisoned Mirror. That's his name, I promise. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Britannia Prima. I'm messing this up already, guys. There's like a trick to the Arthurians that I don't fully know it. So I draw a card. I have no cards to draw. So what I'm going to do is take this card, put it on my discard pile. Oh, that's terrible. Put this up there. So I got Lady Bertolak. I don't find her that useful. I need to find something that allows me to put stuff in my history because I have so many cards that are points if in your history. I'm like, how do I get this in my history? It doesn't make any sense. So Britannia Prima goes there. There's like literally nothing in the Arthurian starting deck that allows them to put stuff in their history, except for a couple of things that allow you to put very specific cards into your history. And then obviously your Nadir guard makes you put knights in your history, which isn't something I want to do. All right, I can garrison a card. I'm going to garrison Merlin. Now I'm going to play Guinevere. Guinevere says all other players gain a progress token. So we're going to give a progress token to the Atlanteans. And then I'm choose to acquire. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's how I could do that. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Great. So I can choose to acquire a region card or a civilized card or abandon King Arthur to free play an empire card. So I would literally abandon King Arthur from there, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, that's how I acquire tributary cards. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah, I'm playing this all wrong. Go me. That's an easy way to get a tributary card. I'm still learning this deck, which is fine, but I'll do it this way. So I'm going to acquire the moneylender card, which has a gain 1 action. Is that useful? I played this all wrong, kids. I played this all wrong. But it'll prevent them from getting the points. So I will take the moneylender. It gives me the unrest 2. Yeah, I wish I had the Greeks, but at least they're not attacking me. That's fine. That's going to get replaced with this. That's 2 points. It's only education. Only. Who needs education? That was my second action. My third action is I'm going to play. I'm probably going to have to pick one of these up. Woof. Play bad. Oh, I can gain an action that way. That's strong. No, I can't play it though because I don't have Guinevere. Yikes. All right, I'm going to play Moragena. All players take a unrest. That includes me. Gives one unrest to our friends, the Atlanteans. I can abandon a region with garrisoned Merlin. So I'm going to abandon this. That means it goes in my discard pile, not into my hand. If it's recalled, it goes into my hand. Otherwise, it goes discard pile. And then I'm going to put both the... Oh, shoot. I didn't have an active quest. I meant to set this up last turn. So during Solstice, there was no active quest. I could have taken another unrest at that point to put a impending quest there as an active quest. And I would have done that. I will put Twitch Torch there. So now that's active. And now I can take both the active quest and the top card of this deck. Even though there's an X there, I can still get the top card of this deck. I put them into my discard pile. So again, by playing Moragena, you're really running through this deck a little faster. The other way you can get quests is using Merlin, but you have to set that up by putting a bunch of knights behind regions. That's really hard to pull off with the Atlanteans because they make you recall regions so often. But now I have a bunch of unrest cards. Now remember, on my next turn, I could just do a revolt, and I could just return any number of these cards from my hand, and that would just be my entire turn. It is definitely something I will consider. This now goes here because I played her. That's how I got the quest. So to be totally clear, so during Solstice, I had to take an unrest to put a quest from there. During this turn, I played a region and I garrisoned Merlin, so Merlin was underneath that region. Then as my third action, because my second action I did something with what's your name, Guinevere. My third action I played Moragena. I abandoned the region that had Merlin. That goes into my discard pile, and because I did that, I can get both the active quest, which is under King Arthur's Court, and the top card of my nation deck. And I just did that in the most confusing manner. You're welcome. Send complaints to Solo Playthroughs Philadelphia. Exhausting, drawing a card. We get Sir K. Woo! All right, what do I want to do? Doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll hold on to Moneylenders. Camelot's not in play. Now, if I get Camelot in play, I can exhaust a card to return an unrest, but I just haven't seen Camelot. So Camelot, again, is somewhere in my nation deck. That is the end of my turn. This is going to go away. I have to put a victory point on something. I want that to go away, hopefully. But again, a lot of their regions are already out. Woof. That's two 5-pointers out there for them. So I'll put this sucker there. We're going to go for the Atlanteans. Rolling this die, I rolled a 3. They have 5 actions. Their first action, it is Flood. So we're going to look at the chart. The first thing that matches is the Empire symbol. If able, history a played region. So again, Atlanteans do a lot of flooding things, so they don't really flood. They don't have a history when you're actually playing them in a real game. The Atoma, they have a history now. So we're going to take their first region that they played. They're going to history that, and they're going to gain any. I hate the acquire any language. It's super confusing. I wish it was like more like it's just unclear, right? They could have put the symbols. They could have, but acquire any means they acquire any type of card. When they go to acquire a card, they're going to acquire the card that's the leftmost that gives them the most points. So again, they're going for the most points. If there's a tie, you take the leftmost card. The flood card also gets put into history, and they're going to acquire this, which is going to be 6 points. When they acquire, they also acquire. They don't break through, so they also acquire the unrest, and they put those cards on top of their deck. In the unrest card will go on top. That now needs to get refilled. It's another 5-point card. Oh, the joys! The Atlanteans are the worst. Next turn, it is their attack card. Kind of figured that was going to come, and that was just me playing bad. So they're going to acquire a card that gives them the most points. This is going to give them 5 points, but it also gives them an unrest, but that's still pretty bad. They're going to steal one of my progress tokens, and then they're going to make me recall a region. It's a really nasty attack. Getting something that prevents attacks would be important. Fortunately, again, they still only have one attack card. This is a region, so it doesn't get an unrest. They didn't gain another attack card. So if they only have one attack card, I can kind of live with this. All right, Flood. What are they going to do? They're going to abandon this, or history this, to acquire any card. They're going to acquire the one with the most points. They're acquiring this. That goes there. And then they put this in their history. This comes out, so your rest pile is getting a little bit low. That's another attack card. Woof, want to get that for sure. That's a reason they're going to exile a card and put this in play. They're going to get another card. It's another attack card. That's rough. And then finally, it's an unrest card. We only have 2 cards in the unrest deck. They're going to add a point there. This moves down, and they're putting 5 cards out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remember, we know half of those cards are unrest cards. So I put out 5 cards, and I said half. So, roughly half of those cards are unrest cards. On my turn, I do not want to take another active quest. So again, that's a Solstice ability, but I'm going to not do that this time. I can discard a card. I'm going to discard Moneylenders, so I'm not going to be doing that, to gain a progress point, and I have no other Solstice abilities to speak of. All right. Ooh. Oh, man. Get a region so there's no tributary out. Yeah, it's funny when you're in the middle of a stream, like, oh, that's how you do that. I really want a region that lets me, like, negate attacks. That invasion card is rough. I don't have the ability to get a green. All right, I'm going to use this exhaust ability to draw a card. So let's me draw 2 cards. A bunch of regions in my discard. I'm going to play Britannia Secunda. This happened during my last turn, so that should have been, I should have taken that off again. Sorry about that. So I draw a card. I may garrison a card. I will garrison Sir K. That's my first action. My next action, I will play Percival. I can return an unrest, and I may garrison in a reason to trigger that card's play effect. Sure, I'll garrison that, which allows me to draw a card, and I can garrison a card. Since I can't draw a card, I'm going to put this here. This goes on top. It's another region. So now, again, I can't do that again on my turn. I don't necessarily want to. Oh, that's one way. None of these reasons are especially helpful. I hate that card. I'm going to play Lady Bertolak. I can abandon a region with a garrison knight to draw 2 cards. Each other player discards 2 cards. The Atoma ignores that. Want to get Torch in play. That has an exhaust ability. I can pay a resource to free play an Empire card. Now, that is my 3rd action putting that in play. Have a knight to discard. I don't think I'm going to want to use moneylenders anytime soon. The question is, do I want another action? Kind of want that invasion card. It's scaring me. So when you break through is interesting. When you acquire, you can only acquire from what's shown. When you break through, you're literally breaking. You can actually go through a deck and you just target that type. So I'm like, hey, I want to break through for tributary cards. That's fine, but King Arthur doesn't give me the option to break through. It only gives me the option to acquire. I have this free play. Let me do that. So free play, Koffel, draw 2 cards, return a card to the top of my deck. Ugh. So I know Merlin's there. I'll take Merlin, put this here. I could potentially get one more action in some very convoluted way. I don't think that will make much sense, but I do need a region. I do need a region. But I have a bunch of regions in my deck, and I know that for a fact. And I have this knight. I think I'll use that. And if I can pick up a region, I should be good. End of my turn, I'm going to put a point on something. I'm going to put a point there. No, I want... That's bad. Don't attack me. Stop attacking me. All right, these go away. This goes away. I don't want to discard any cards. I'm not drawing up. We're good. All right, Atlanteans' turn. This goes here. First action, it is Flood. They're going to do what? They're going to exile a card from the market. Great, they got rid of that attack card. That makes me feel better. This comes down. It's a tributary card, which that was out there last turn. And then they're going to put... Nope, I lied. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm not playing well. That goes back there. They're actually acquiring that card. It's worse. They're historying this. They're breaking through to acquire any. They're acquiring this because that's the most points for them for sure. That's sad. And then they're going to put this in their history as well. Now this comes out, and now they have 2 attack cards in their deck, and I have seen nothing that allows me to ignore attacks. This is an unrest card. 3 isn't going. This is an unrest card. This is a acquire any card. Again, it has the infinity symbol. That's the first thing we're looking at. This is another 5 points for them. Yeah, we're getting destroyed. This comes out, and then this goes into their history, and this comes off unrest. We're done. All right, we're going to put a victory point here, or a progress token. This goes down. We're putting 5 cards out. We know that one of them is the attack they just acquired. Done. In Solstice, I can discard a knight. I'm going to discard King Arthur to return 2 unrests. I can also discard a card to gain a progress token. And I can I can take an unrest to add a quest, which I will. I will put Excalibur in my history. All right, my turn. I'm going to exhaust to draw a card. It is a region. It's Britannia Flavia. I'm going to play Britannia Flavia and draw a card. I can garrison a card. I'm going to garrison Merlin. And then I'm going to play Oop, I put the wrong thing on there. Did I take this from my supply, or did I take this from down here? I got one around. I can't remember. I think I took this from my supply, but someone could tell me if I'm wrong. This should have gone here. Yeah, someone let me know where I got that progress token from. I can't remember if I took it from my supply or if I took it from the thing. I meant to put an exhaust token on there. So I placed that. That's my. That was an exhaust ability, so that doesn't count as an action. This was my first action. Was playing Britannia Flavia. My second action, I'm playing this. All players take an unrest, and I'm going to abandon a region with Merlin to put both the active quest and the top card of my nation deck in there. We get Sir Gawain. And this goes there. I have one more action. I'm going to draw a card. I can garrison a card. I don't think it's gonna matter. I can acquire that, the free play, that. What did I add? Lancelot. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, end of my turn. This comes back. I'm going to draw to my hand, which is 5. Oops, I'm out of cards. This goes here. And I'll draw one more. Last, have to head out. Good luck, great, thank you. Oh, that makes more sense. Was wondering with quest, revolt, next turn, likely good. Don't forget you can innovate to break through for invasion if you really wanted to. Thunderworm took it from below. Took what from below? I don't know. I don't know what I did. Oh, breakthrough for invasion. Yeah, right. That's my whole turn. I mean, it's not terrible. Yeah, I don't know. At this point, I'm just gonna try to get a quick game and see what happens. But yeah, I'm about to lose. I'm about to reclaw a lot of these regions. Which again, if I'm going the dark side approach, which I'm doing here, might not be as bad. We draw a card. It is Merlin. Merlin, Merlin. Hello, Merlin. Yeah, if I had extra action, I could have played Guinevere to get invasion, which would have been super helpful. All right, what's up? We rolled a 5. Atlanteans' turn. It is a infinity card. They're going to acquire. What are they acquiring? Well, they're acquiring not. It's only worth 1 point. They're acquiring this, which is worth 5 points. Oh, I took the thing. I took the progress token from below. Thank you. Thank you, Thunderworm Supply Progress Token. You're the best. It takes me a second, but I usually get there. So this comes over. It's another attack card because of course it is. And then this is going to be put into history. The Atlanteans history gets bananas. Unrest card. Persians, not an attack card. It's a tributary card. It becomes an other. When they get an other, they take the top card of their dynasty deck, they put it in the discard pile, and they put this card into history. Done. Next, unrest. Next, it is again the same kind of thing. Oh, this is not an other. This is an empire card. If able, they do not have a played region to acquire any. So they're going to break through for a region. They're going to break through for this region, and they're going to put this card in their history. This region goes on top of their deck. Another region comes out. So that was a very painless turn, relatively speaking. I put a progress token there. 5 cards come out. They don't reshuffle. I go to Solstice. I'm going to discard a knight to return to things with Torch. I know that's not his name, but you know it should be. I have to discard a card to draw a card. And that's the only two solstice. I have to. I don't. I have to discard a card to gain a progress token. With the Arthurian ability, I have 5 progress tokens. And so I did that solstice ability, and that solstice ability. No, I didn't do this one. I don't have an active quest, so that's interesting. Merlin's over here, though. I have no cards. It's not terrible. There's 2. I mean, they just have 2 attack cards. I'm so stuck. Oh, he's also a knight? Oh, that's interesting. I never realized that he also had that knight symbol. I like knights. Yeah, we'll do that. So my turn, I'm going to exhaust this to draw a card. I'm going to play Guinevere as my first action. All other players gain a progress token, so we're giving another progress token to the Empire. I'm going to take 4 out and give them a 5. That's my first action. It allows me to acquire a card. I'm going to acquire the Counterfract. Since I'm acquiring it, I also acquire the unrest. I did not break through for it. This comes out and that. So I got 1 attack card out of there. With my second action, I'm going to play Counterfract. Each other player abandons the region. They don't have a region to abandon, but I can acquire a tributary card or a region. I will take this region with this progress token. And that gets replaced. Oh, that's the one I want. Duh! So good. I can exhaust it to prevent the attack. That's what I'm talking about. I can now garrison this card in a region. I'm going to garrison it here to trigger that card's play effect. That card's play effect is I draw a card. I can garrison a card. I don't want to. I somehow ended up with more Jenna back super quick. I don't have Merlin. My third action. Ooh, that's how I get cards into my history. I don't want to put any of these cards in my history. Oh, that's nice though. So I'm going to play Lakes. I may put a card from my discard pile into my history. I don't want to. Exile a card from the market. I'm going to exile this attack. Comes out. Again, if there was a progress token on it, I would not have been able to exile it. And I may garrison a card. I don't really want to. I can't. I could spend a progress token to free play this dude, which would allow me to pay 3 to get another action. That's not helpful. I'll just garrison them. No, I'll keep the money limiters in my hand. They're helpful to discard cards. My solstice effects, though, aren't that amazing. I don't have a knight. More Jen is not going to do much for me because Merlin, unfortunately, is buried. With that card, would have been helpful to get Merlin back out. Oh, that's cool. Let me do this. I'm going to exhaust this. It's a lot of like little abilities here and there to discard a card to draw a knight from my discard pile. So I'm going to draw back Merlin. And I think that will set me up pretty well for next turn. I want to get the Taliesin the Bard active quest done. I really want to. I have 3 more of these to go before I can trigger endgame by getting the Graal. End of my turn, these go away. I'm going to draw 2 more cards. That's perfect. And we are good. So again, the exhaustibility of Camelot's in play. I can return a thing. I could discard a card to draw a knight from my discard pile. That worked out fairly well. We're going to the Atlanteans' turn. It's a 3. Learning things on the fly, kids. Oh, I get attacked, you jerky jerk. So, what's going to happen now? So he's attacking me. He's going to acquire the one worth the most points. So we're actually in a decent place. This market's not great for him. So he's acquiring this. It's worth 3. He gets these 2 progress tokens. Make this a tenner. So they have a lot. They're going to get a lot of points from this stuff. This gets replaced from here. It's a region. And they steal a point from me. And I have to recall a card. I'll recall the lakes. And now this card goes here. Again, they only have 2 attacks in their hands, so could be worse. They're going to exile a card from the market. They're going to exile the leftmost card. This gets replaced. It's another attack card. Of course it is. They play this. Education. It is... That's 2 points. That is the most points. Oh, they get another attack. All right, they're going to free play. Nope, they're going to... it's a Empire card. They're going to history a played region to acquire any card. They are going to acquire this one. These both go in their history. They're going to get this card. It's an unrest card. They're going to get this card. Oh, this should have been replaced. Art. It's a 1-pointer. That's an unrest card. Victory point goes here. I definitely want to get the fortified region if I can. They're going to put 5 more cards out. Oh, they need to shuffle. They get the top card from here. And they're going to put this down here. Solstice abilities. I'm going to do this solstice ability to take an unrest. Oh, I don't have another. I don't have another knight in my hand. That's rough. I'm going to take an unrest to put this thing here. I'm going to discard a card. I'll discard Lady Bertelick to get a victory point. And I can do one more thing. I may discard a knight. I don't have a knight to discard. Now, one thing I can do is I can start, if I wanted to end the game quicker, I could discard a knight to like get rid of impending quests, but those are points for me and opportunities, so I'm not that keen on that, but that's probably a strategy I should explore more. On my turn, I'm going to play Lakes. I'm going to put a card on my discard into my history. Let me put this in the history to get 2 points at the end of the game. I don't really love that card anyway. Exile a card from the market. I will exile this rolled build thing. No, maybe. Sure, I'll exile that card off the nation deck. It's a tributary card. Of course, it's an attack card. Woof. That's... I make Garrison a card. I'm going to Garrison Merlin. I'm going to play more Jenna with my second action. I'm going to abandon these 2. All players take an unrest, including me. So unrest pile is getting a little bit low. And then I'm going to put this and the active quest into my discard pile. So that's Camelot. Uh-oh. And then my third action, I think I have to take these unrest a little more seriously. So I'm just going to choose to pay 1 population to put an unrest back just to be safe. If they attack me, it's... fine. I can get them back in my hand. It's probably recalling is not necessarily the worst, I guess, because I get to do those abilities again. End of my turn. I'm gonna hold on the cards in my hand. I'm gonna torch to get rid of these 2 unrest cards. I'm going to draw 2. I get Kafal and King Arthur. Guinevere, I think, is at the bottom of my pile over here. Yes, she is. We go to the Atlanteans. Rolling a die, it's a 4. Unrest, so we got 4 cards in that pile. It's better. And 5 cards in that pile. It's an attack. Again, I never got the fortified region that I was hoping for, so what are they going to do? They are going to acquire. They're acquiring the one with the most points. They get another attack card. That's not good. These come out. They are going to then steal a point from me, and then they're going to make me recall this. Next, they have 3 attack cards now. This is an infinity card. They're going to acquire the most expensive card. They're going to get this. This goes in their history. The Atlanteans have a crazy history. We have the Etruscans, and then they get, oh, another attack. Urgh! So they're going to acquire this. They steal another point from me. They make me recall a region. I have no regions to recall. This goes here. Oh, this should have been, nope, they just acquired that. I have to replace that. It is a region. We go to Solstice. I'm going to discard Cataphract to return 2 unrests. Using that Solstice ability, I'm going to discard a card to get a point with the Arthurian ability, and I'm going to take an unrest. Not set up to do more agenda still in my discard pile. Yeah, not worried about it. I'm not going to do that, the unrest thing, to take a quest yet. We'll get to you, Lancelot, though. Hold on. Alright, my turn. I'm going to free play Kafal. Oh, I keep forgetting to exhaust the Code of Laws too. So I'm going to exhaust the Code of Laws to draw a card. That could have helped a couple of times, I'm sure. I'm going to free play Kafal, draw 2 cards to put a card on top of my deck. And I got to put 1 back. I'll put this one back. Okay, now is a free play, so I still have 2 more actions. No, that was a free. I exhausted. That was free. I have 3 actions still. Get it right, people. I'm going to draw a card and garrison a card. I'll garrison Sir K. My second action, I'm going to play King Arthur. I'm going to abandon a region with a knight garrison to acquire another region. I'm going to acquire this fortified region. Another region. King Arthur's out. And then my third action is I'm going to play fortified region. I could exile a card from the market. There's nothing great to exile, so I'll just leave everything. Oh, I have to exile a card from the market. So, thanks for playing, Greg. I'll exile that region. Probably should exile the region before to prevent the 5-pointer from coming out. That was silly when I exiled that. I kind of liked the market the way it was. So I play bad. We're going to, I can garrison a card. I don't want to, but it gives me an exhaustibility to protect against attacks. Now, honestly, if it's just bringing this back in my hand, I don't care. But in future, there are other cards in the future that might be worse. So the interesting thing about the other way you can play this, if you're playing with the Merlin style, like you just exile the knights, you don't actually abandon the regions. When you're playing Morgana, you're actually abandoning the regions, which is fine. End of my turn, I'm drawing 3 more, so I have 5 cards in my hand. Excalibur is a little. I have not gotten Vivian of the Lake or Yaz, whatever. Yeah, I probably should not have taken. Oh, there it is. There it is. I do have a card that allows me to put a region. Ah. Sir Gawain is interesting. That's fine. This can come over there. Oh, I never. Shoot. I didn't get a. That's fine. I didn't get a point. This should have gone there. I should have reset this at the end of the Atlanteans last turn. It didn't change anything. They put the victory point there and called it a day. Atlanteans turn. It's a 5. 5 actions. Unrest. Unrest. It's a barbarian card. Discard the top card of the bot deck. Oh, nice. It was an attack. Return unrest from the discard. We don't have any. Put this in their history. Next unrest. And next wow. That's nuts. I don't even know how they got that many arrests in a row. It just kind of worked out. This comes here. This goes down. 5 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have to reshuffle. My turn. Solstice abilities. I do want to get myself set up. I'm going to take an unrest to put Sir Lancelot here. I could discard a knight to leave up to 2 unrests. I have so many knights. This is nutty. I'm not going to do this Solstice ability. I can discard a card to gain a point. I don't think that's a good idea. So, we're going to, on my turn, we're going to exhaust this to draw a card. I have no more cards. So we're going to add this. We're about to get her pretty soon. So we add that card. It is Vivian of the Lake. So the next time I gain a card from there, it's going to be kind of temporarily not great. It should be okay. These go here. I'm going to play with my 3 actions. Britannia Flavia, I draw a card. I can garrison a card. I'll garrison Sir Budvivir. That's his name, for sure. It's such a waste. No more tributary cards for me either. Oh, that should only be a 1, not a 5. That'd be crazy. I'm going to play Peridor, return a thing. I can garrison in a thing to trigger that card's play effect. That card's play effect is to draw a card. And I can garrison a card. Oh, hello. Oh, I cheated before. Shoot. I would have had to exhaust. I forgot Cataphract is a Empire card. I would have had to pay. Did I do that? I don't know if I paid the Twitch ability to play Cataphract. In case I didn't, I could have just exhausted him and then spent a point. No, I think I did. Someone will have to tell me. I might have 1 point I shouldn't have. I would have had a way to play him. I'm pretty sure. I got to go back and see the timing. But that's super annoying. I'm going to play. I am going to exhaust him now and pay the dollar to free play this. So that's free. So it doesn't cost an action. So if I did, I could have potentially spent an action I didn't need to by saving a progress token. It's hard to say. So this is a free play. Each of the player abandons a region. They don't have any regions. I can acquire a region. I will acquire this region for the point. And then garrison this card to trigger the play effect. So I draw a card. I can garrison a card. I don't have any cards I want to garrison. And now that was a free play. So I played one card, two cards. Again, I played this, put that in. I played Sir Percival. Cataphract was a free play because of Twitchrish. That's how he says it. And then finally, I'm gonna play Sir Gawain to get an unrest, and I'm gonna gain 3 points because I have 3 garrisoned knights, and then I can garrison this card to draw a card, and I can garrison a card. I don't want to, and I'm not even. Ooh, if I can get an extra play, I could put Camelot out, which would be pretty strong. Because then I could discard a card to return an unrest. But I think we'll be okay. This should get replaced with that. Excellent. End of my turn. I'm not discarding any cards. I don't need to draw any cards. These just go away. And we'll check the chat. Alright, progress token, same old stuff. We're good. I'm rolling a die. I have no idea if I'm winning, which is how I normally feel with this game. So, that is a other. Put the top card of the Dynasty deck and this into the discard pile and put this card into history. It's the Phoenicians. They were just a tributary card. They were not an Empire card. They were not an attack card. Unrest goes back. Prosperity. They're going to gain 1 thing per played region. They don't have any. I may draw a card. I will. This goes away. This comes out. It is a region. They're going to exile a card from the market. They can exile the leftmost card. This gets replaced. They put that in play. And then they have the Atlantean fleet. We see them again. I don't want to, so I'm going to exhaust this and spend a population to prevent their negative effects on me. And they're going to acquire a card. They're going to acquire the one with the most points. Of course, this is a 5-pointer that just came out. This goes here. This gets replaced. Unrest. At the end of their turn, they're going to put a point on this. This moves down. They're adding 2 more. They have to add this. They're actually getting into their point cards now. And they're putting a whole bunch of new attacks in play. Remember, they got rid of a bunch of unrests. So this is a very attacky deck right now. Face down, face down, face down. My turn during Solstice, I will discard a card to get a point. I don't need to do the active quest thing, and I don't need to do this. I have no other Solstice abilities. On my turn, I'm going to exhaust this to draw a card. I'm going to exhaust Torch, spend a point to free play Taliesin the Bard. I can find a knight. Now, when you says find, it's a very certain order you need to do it. It's first hand, then discard. I'm going to find this knight. I put him in my history. So if Sir K is gone, I look at the top 2 cards of the Fame deck. I keep one, and I put the other one back. I'm going to take Proud. Don't have much of a choice there. So this, I have done no actions yet. I'm going to play Archipelago. I can exile a card from the market. I will exile Metropolis. Don't be a 5-pointer. That's not bad. I can put a card from my discard pile into my history that I have none there that I want to do that with. And then I'm going to, I can garrison a card. I'm going to garrison Proud. So what's Proud cannot be played. 12 victory points of garrison, 8 points if in history, 3 points otherwise. I'll take the 12 points. I would like to find Merlin, but you know, it's been a thing. So that's my first real action. All right, because I free played. No, my first action. Yeah, my first action was that. I'm gonna free play Kafal. I draw 2 cards, put a card back on top of my deck. Woof. King Arthur, what are you up to? I'm gonna put money lenders back on top of my deck because it's not doing anything. I'm gonna put Camelot into play as my second action. Everything I've done a bunch of free plays. And then I'm going to exhaust King Arthur's court to discard a card and discard a card to return a thing. I'll exhaust. Man, well, breaking through for any of these isn't really that helpful anyway, so I'll just discard Excalibur to do this. And either Merlin or Morrigan. Well, if I get Merlin and Morgana, well, if I get Merlin first, that's fine. I need it because I could just get rid of 3 of these knights and I can do what I need to do. As far as whatever. I still have 1 more action, which is nuts. That's exhaust. I've used 4 exhaust abilities, so you see that adding up. There's no knight in my discard pile, so I couldn't do that. Look at all these exhaust abilities. That doesn't make any sense. My last action. There's no like standard action. Maybe I don't exhaust it this way. Maybe I'll just discard 2 cards. I can just play it and pay 3, not using resource or anything else. They're not points in anything for me. They are for the Overlord. They start with 3, 2, 1. They do get it's like 1 point every 5 resources, I think. So I'll just pay the 3 resources to get rid of that. Unrest as my third action. That lets me keep Excalibur. End of my turn. These are going to clear up. Oh, have I been forgetting to put victory points out? I don't know. Maybe. No, I don't think I have. I'm a mess, people. I'm going to put this here. And then I draw 2 cards. I did not get more Jenna. Interesting. I did not get Guinevere either. So we'll see how I want to play this one out. All right, Atlanteans. It's an Uno. Unrest. Don't attack me. All right, this is a infinity symbol. They get to acquire. They're going to acquire this. That gets replaced. Only 2 points. And then this card goes into their history. This, it is the Empire card. If able, they can put this history this to break through for a region. They're going to break through for this one. I don't know why it says breakthrough for a region because it doesn't really make a difference. No, breakthrough for any. Sorry. Breakthrough for any. This is worth 2 points. They're gonna. That's why it says breakthrough. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then the breakthrough for that goes here. And the history, both the region and the Empire card. It's an attack card. I should have put that out just to prevent. That's why I wanted to do that. Let me put the lakes out, because they could be 2 attack cards in a row, and give me those 3 resources back. That would have made me garrison a card, though. That would have made me exile a card, though. Nope. I should have put lakes out. That's fine. I won't undo it. It's too bad. Too late. So I'm going to spend this victory point, though, as a population. I think I can do that. I mean, again, you can always spend 1 progress point as a population. And I'm going to exhaust this ability to avoid the attack. They are going to acquire the card with the most points. This has 2 points. But they don't steal from me, and they don't make me recall. This easily could be another attack. It is. Ugh, so predictable. So now they're going to do the whole thing again. They're going to acquire. They get 5 points from this card. Of course they do. This gets replaced. They steal the point from me, and I'll pick up the fortified region card. This goes there. They're putting a point here. 5 cards come out. Done. During Solstice, I can discard a card to get a victory point. I can discard a card to draw a card. I have a bunch of reasons, so I'm going to discard to draw a card. Nice. Vivian. Hello. And that's about it. No tributary cards. That's kind of useless. I play bad. All right. I need more knights. I have no knights in my discard pile. That's super fun. I have not seen Morgana, and I have not seen Merlin. So I'm going to exhaust Code of Laws to draw a card. Hey, Merlin. Excellent. I'm going to abandon 3 knights garrisoned in a region. I'm going to abandon these 3 to draw the active quest into my hand. I get Sir Lancelot. I have not done an action yet. I don't think. Yeah, I've not done an action. That was a free play. So my first action was Merlin. So yeah, I have 2 more actions. I'm going to play Fortified. I'm going to play Sir Lancelot. I know what the next card is there, so it makes some sense. So I'm going to play Sir Lancelot. That's going to allow me to put Guinevere into my history. So I have to find her. When you search for something, again, you go hand. She's not in my hand. Discard pile, not in there. My draw pile, she's there. We'll reshuffle this. I put Guinevere into my history. It lets me take the top fame card. And then we exile Sir Lancelot, because Lancelot and Guinevere fell in love. They broke Arthur's heart. Everyone was sad and upset, and that's just how it goes. So again, proud, another 12 points if I can get this sucker garrisoned. I will then play Fortified Region, exile a card from the market. I'll exile this one. comes out. It's all point. And I may garrison a card. I will garrison King Arthur. Not that it matters. Just kind of get him out of my hand. I don't want to garrison Proud yet because, again, I'm worried about the number of attacks in the Atlanteans deck. It's pretty amazing. Or even better. No, yeah, I want to I want the Fortified region out. I think that still makes the most sense. I did play the Bard. I'm going to need to get Merlin back. I could discard a card to get Merlin back. I can garrison Merlin, and then I could potentially get the Graal on the very next turn, which would be pretty strong, which would trigger endgame. Alright, that's my turn. This goes away. I'm drawing how many cards? I'm just drawing one. So we still have not gotten her into my deck. She will get into my deck soon, and life will get super interesting. Checking the chat. Nothing new. Atlanteans, it's a 4. Bam. Alright, it's a region. The region takes precedence. They're going to exile a card from the market. They're going to exile this card. That can be replaced with this. That's just a region, so no unrest card. They put this into play. 4 actions left. Unrest card. 3 actions left. Master Development. It is an Empire card. If able, abandon this and this to break through for any. They're going to get 2 points from this. They're just breaking through, so they don't get the unrest. This comes out. That's a question point card, so it'll be worth max, which is only 1 point. Both of these go into history. They're going to get this. It is any if able. They can't. They're going to break through for a region. That goes on top of their deck. This goes into history. And then finally here, it is an infinity card. Acquire any. Oh, this should get replaced. Acquire any. Of course, they're going to get the one that's 5 points that just came out. And put this card into history. We're putting a victory point here. This gets replaced. 3 points. It's another attack card. 5 cards across the top. Alright, my turn in things. I'm going to take an unrest to do this. So we have the Graal there. I'm going to discard a card to draw a card. Discard a card to gain a population, actually, with Camelot. Oh, that's good. The only solstice I want to do. On my turn, I'm going to exhaust this ability to discard a card to break through. Oh, that's 3 points. Exhaust this ability to draw a card. I'm going to exhaust this ability to discard a card. Nope. Do I need to draw a card? I need to draw a card. Not worried about the unrest just yet, so let me think about this carefully. I'm going to play this card to draw a card. Nope. Not going to do that yet. I'm going to play Yenis Alphalak to return a knight from my discard pile to my hand. I'm going to return Merlin to my hand, and then garrison a card. I'm going to garrison Merlin. During Solstice, I can pay a progress point to recall this card. Oh, I could have discarded a card. Oh, I had to discard a card to get a progress point. What was in my hand? I had to. Ah, I would have discarded the unrest to get the progress point. in Solstice. It is what it is. If I get it back, I did it back. If not, it's not a big deal. Alright, so that was my first action. My second action is I'm going to play Britannia Prima to draw a card. I may garrison a card. I will garrison Proud. My third action, I'm going to play Morgana. All players take an unrest. I'm going to abandon a card with Merlin to place the top card of my deck and Gwath, my top card of my nation deck, top card of that deck, and the active quest. When I would gain this, instead I immediately put it into play, and then during Solstice I need to put a knight into my history, garrison from my hand, or take 2 unrest. Alright, so I have ability to get rid of unrests. I should be okay. She's going to go here. That was my third action. End of my turn. I have to draw. I can't draw anymore, though. It's not a big... I just ignore the reshuffling part. Like, there's nothing else that can be added to my hand. And this cannot be abandoned or recalled. It's just going to, again, stay in play. I should be okay with everything else. I'm going to have to... do I want to drop any cards? Nah, we're good. Nothing to give me an extra action, which could have been very helpful. I also need to get this guy out of play because that could be bad. So there's definitely an order that I'm hoping things come out here. Put this up here. This over here. This over here. There's a lot going on in this game. I don't know if that's a good thing. It's just a lot. It's a lot of a thing. Sir Percival. So I got the 2 unrest at least. And I could discard him. Garrisoned or from my hand. That's fine. Alright. Atlanteans' turn. Rolling this, it's a 1. Unrest. It is an Empire card. If able, history they can't. Otherwise, they're breaking through for a region. They're going to break through for this region. This goes in their history. This gets replaced. It's a 5-pointer. Of course it is. They're going to exile a card from the market. They're going to exile the one the most left. That gets replaced. Then this goes into play. This is an attack. I'm going to exhaust this and spend a population. They are going to acquire. They're acquiring them with the most points, which is this. It's now a region. And then finally, it's an unrest. In Solstice, I have to put a knight into my history. I'll put Cataphract into my history. So I satisfied that card. I'm going to discard a knight. I'm going to discard Percival to return up to 2 unrest cards. With Torch Trush, I have to discard a card. No. I'm not going to do Torch Trush. I like Percival. I'm going to discard a card to get a victory point with the ability on my power card. And I don't want to discard anything else. I don't love it, but I don't think it makes sense to not do the rest of what I want to do here. So I'm going to play Vivian of the Lake with my first action. Well, these come off. No, that stays. I just use this. I'm going to draw a card. Excellent. I'm going to play Vivian of the Lake. I gain a victory point. Or a progress token. I'm going to play Excalibur to abandon Vivian of the Lake to break through for the Celts. That's my second action. My third action, I'm going to play Sir Percival to return that, garrison this here to draw a card. I can garrison a card. No. Yeah. Oh, I never did the rest of this. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll stick with that. I'll keep the Celts in my hand. Hopefully I can get the Graal out of my deck soon. I have a knight. Having knights, garrisoned is helpful for Quath. I already have this thing in my deck. I just need to get it out and play it, and that's going to trigger endgame. Now, if I had done it with Merlin, it goes right into my hand, which is helpful, but, it is what it is. I didn't. So, I'm going to end my turn there. I draw up to 5 cards. Moneylenders. Did I put that card back and then I changed my mind? Yeah, this should be in my hand already, but it doesn't matter. It's the same number of cards. Merlin and more Jenna. That's fine. None of these are great. Merlin's probably going in my history because he's kind of useless. Oh, how do I get you in my history? Ooh, I can discard you. Get her in my history for points at the end of the game. Excellent. Atlanteans' turn. It's a 3. So they have 5 card plays coming up. Unrest back in the deck. Unrest back in the deck. They're going to exile a card from the market. They're going to exile the leftmost card. This comes out. This goes put in place. They have 2 regions in play. Unrest back in the deck. And it is an Empire card. They are going to history this and this to acquiring the most points. 2 points here. There. That gets replaced with a 5-pointer. And both of these go into history. Putting a point. I need the smaller denominations. Point there. This goes down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Solstice, I'm going to put Merlin into my history because of Quaith Camlan. I'm going to discard a card to get a point. Change out 4 of those for a 5er. I'll put the 2 5ers here to get a 10er. And now I'll discard a card to get a population with City of Camelot. All right, my turn. I'm going to free play. I'm going to exhaust that to draw a card. I'm going to free play Kafol. Don't want to play that yet. I'm going to play Celts. I'm going to break through for this. Ooh. Exhaust, tame 1 action, Solstice. Camelot's out. I'm going to grab Religion. Oh, silly. Gives me an action, but this game's not going very long. I don't think that's worth it. I'm going to grab this. And I broke through for it, so I don't have to take the unrest. I get the point. This is in my hand. Each other player takes an unrest. That will go there. Celts are there. This gets replaced from that deck. It's another attack card, because of course it is. My second action, I'm going to play lakes. I can put a card from my discard into my history. I'm gonna put Morgana in my history. Exile a card from the market. I'll exile this one. That gets replaced. The 3-pointer. And I can garrison a card. I don't want to. That was my second action. My third action. Well, I'll play Guffaw as a free play. So I draw 2 cards, put a card back on top of my deck. I'll put Britannia there. And now I can exile Torch because that's -4 points that I don't want. You can exile him if it's the active quest. He was obviously not. I had him in play for a long time. He served me well, that little piggy. But now I really don't have a way to fast play Empire cards, which is, you know, a thing. So I'm not going to really, it's going to be harder for me to get anything else from the Fame deck. That was a free play. So I have one more action. That's going to be worth 0 points. That's fine. I do. With my third action, I'm going to play Sir Bedivere. I'm going to return Excalibur from my discard pile to the top of my deck. I'm going to garrison this in a thing to trigger its effect again. I will garrison this here. That lets me draw a card. And I may garrison a card. I don't want to. I did not get the Holy Grail, but I will get it next turn, which means I will have 2 more turns to get this thing done. End of my turn, this goes away. I draw 3. Is the Holy Grail in my hand? It indeed is. That's fine. Maybe get some more points out of this before it's all said and done. Atlanteans rolled a 3. They have 5 turns. It is the Macedonians. It's an other. They're going to put the top card of the Dynasty deck into the discard pile. This card goes in history, so that's 4 points for them. Next, unrest, -2 negative points. I'm going to exhaust this and spend the population. But they are still going to acquire. Most points is this. And then this goes here. This gets replaced. Poseidon, that's if able. History, this. To break through for a region. Oh, this should not have an unrest. They're breaking through for a region. This and this are going to go away. And this goes here. That comes off. That pile's empty. That might trigger endgame now, actually. There are no more cards in the main deck, so that does trigger endgame. So we have 1 more round and then scoring, which is perfect. And then this comes out. It is prosperity. They get no things there. I can draw a card. Don't mind if I do. And that goes there. End of their turn. They're getting a point here. This slides over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is, yeah, of course, that's that card. On my turn, so at Solstice, I have to put a knight into my discard pile. So garrisoned knight, I will put Percival. I'll put Bedware into my history. I said discard pile, I meant history. I will play this to get a point. This is the last round because, again, scoring is going to be triggered after. So I still do all Solstice abilities, but this is definitely the last round. I'm not going to do anything else. Oh, I get escorted. That's stupid. I could have drawn a card from my history. I have no more knights. All right, I'm going to free play this. Triggers endgame. Endgame's already triggered. I can draw a card from my history. I will get another knight back. I can't play that anymore. Great. I'll get Sky back. And then I can acquire an exile card. I don't mind if I do. That's not a lot of points. That's silly. None of that's really great. I will draw the Metropolis, or acquire the Metropolis. And that was just a free play. Again, endgame's already triggered. This is my last turn. I will play Falak Avalon. Return a knight from my discard pile to my hand. I don't have any knights from my discard to my pile to my hand. I'm going to garrison Sir K. So that was my first real action because Camelot, the Graal, was free. I'm going to play the monument. Remember, I'm still a barbarian. That's my second action. And my third action is I'm going to 1, 2, 3. Great. I'm going to play Sir Gawain. I'm going to take an unrest. I'm going to get 3 points because I have 3 garrisoned knights. So I'm going to take these 2 out, 5 here. I can garrison it to trigger an effect. I will take that, draw a card, garrison a card. I don't want to. I'm going to exhaust this ability to free play an unrest. I could have done that. Can't play. This is another Empire card. I cannot play Empire cards. I lost those abilities when I got rid of Guinevere, and then I got rid of the Piggy Pig. That was my only 2 ways to do that. You know what I would have done? Instead of spending an action on this, I'll exhaust this ability because Camelot's in play still. Camelot's over there. I could have discarded this card to return that unrest, and now I have a third action. I'm going to play Excalibur. I'm going to abandon this. When I abandon it, the knight under it also goes away, but allows me to break through for a card to get some final points here. It's got to be a tributary or that. I'll break through for this card, and that goes in my hand. All right, that's my all my actions. This goes here. This would have to get reshuffled. I draw it to my hand limit. And that's that. The Atlanteans, this is the last turn of the game. They rolled a 5. Leadership. Squad douche. So it's going to put the top card. So again, more points from them. Discard pile history. That's another 3 points. This is going to be a big point turn for them. Region. Exile a card. Don't mind that. This goes away. Put that in play. Unrest. Tributary card. So another card. That's another bundle of points, and this goes there. And finally, it's an attack card. No thanks. I'm going to spend this as a population. Block that. no effect, but they do gain a card. They will gain. This has the most points. So they break through for that. It's acquire. Acquire that. That will go there. Oh. Put top card of this in the discard pile. Yeah, so that is correct. I don't know if I've been putting discard. I might have been putting them on. I might have been having them acquire it like normal, putting it top of the deck. They should be acquired into the discard pile. I think I've been doing that right though. For sure, that goes there. End of the turn, they're going to do a victory point. These move over. They can't fill that. They get the next card here. And then they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So they got through most of their nation deck by the end. End of my turn. I have to use solstice abilities, so I have to put a knight into my history. Again, the losses in battle. And I can discard a card to get a point with the solstice ability on the Arthurians card. And that's really the only thing that's worth doing. So we go to the absurdly terrible scoring because, why would they give us a score sheet to help this? Maurice Edgers, hey, what's up, bro? This game has been making some noise, so it's nice to see it being played. Hello, sir. I made it. Well, the artwork of this game is gorgeous. Yeah, artwork is cool. I have a thing with, I feel like artwork's gotten a little, like, overly cartoony, like, across the board in board games, but that's, like, it's fine. Like, I don't know. Cartoons are fun, I guess. Yeah, it's definitely a thing I've just, like, noticed where, I wouldn't mind more, something in art. So we're gonna score. So we have the bot, and then me. We're gonna score the progress token. So I might have gotten my ass kicked. I really don't know. Like it's just I can never tell with this game. But 16, I was able to prevent a lot of their attacks. They would have had a lot more points that way. But I mean, if they doubled my score up, don't call me shocked. So that's 10, 11. 20, lied, 12, 22 points for progress tokens. They only had 5 resources. And again, they score 1 point for every 5. Oh, Lord. God, this is the way everything is worded in this book is like so freaking bananas, dude. I score based on my power card. The power card says I get 1 point for uh every every card I have that has the like the Roman column. I don't think I got many of those. 1. I mean, I would not be surprised if it's only 1, dude. 2, 3. Oh! Remember, you can only score max 10 points a card. 4. I got 4. Look at me. So I get 4 cards there on my power card. So they don't score for their power card. You ignore pretty much all their power card. This is a game with me and my friend Zach. He was new to the game, so don't be that impressed. And that's the bot. They only got the 1 point because they only had 5 resources. So yeah, the Atlanteans don't do a lot with resources. And now we can count the rest of these things, right? I will just start with everything in play and kind of work backwards. These 6 cards are just going to go into the deck for the bot. These cards can go away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Done. I mean, if you made like a board, like I'm sorry to, I mean, you have. I gotta stop bitching about this game. If you had like a board that on one side just had this and then places for the cards, you could flip it over on the other side, have places for the cards, and then the numbers underneath. Like I just don't. I don't know. So many things about like the production of this game still like are they trigger me. All right. So I'm going to score my fame cards. I have 12 points for both Prouds. I only got 2 fame cards, so that's 24 points off the top. They never got a fame card because they never got the myths and legends. Did they? Did I mess that up? Yeah, I think they got this pretty late. That's a very late game card for them. So, I mean, they just acquire so many cards. So, I mean, assuming I did everything right, they really didn't get that. Really didn't have a chance at that. I know I have certain cards that give me points for just being in my history, so I know I scored those two. This is 2 points of in history. This is 2 points of in history, so that's another 4 points. The rest of it, we just have to count. There's nothing else that has to be in a certain place. So, and I've already scored for that card. So I'm going to take the rest of these. These are all cards that were in my either my deck, my history, my in play, or in my discard, and it doesn't really matter where they were. That card can go away. Oh, she's 2 points too. Oh, look at you. So I'll give 2 points for that because she's not sleeved. So I just want to make sure I get that credited, and then we'll just separate things by points. That's from my nation deck. So I'll put that there. This is a region. That's a point. Starter hand, region, nation deck, point, point, point. Starter hand, quests, nation deck, quests, nation deck, starter hand, points. Oh, this is worth 0 points, so I can just put that sucker up there. That's fine. Hand. This is an unrest card for the Atlanteans. Hand. That's a uncivilized card. Hand, quest. Oh, the quests have points. What am I doing? Point. Hand. Nation deck. Hand. And I've written down everything else that's scored. Let me do the math. I don't think I pulled this off. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 plus 8 is 25. That's not going to be enough. I will do the math later. Quest, power card, quest starter deck, greens, green, civilized, tributary, civilized region, fame cards, civilized. Yep, got the 4 there. Starter deck. Nope, starter deck's up here. And nation deck. Have I mentioned the scoring in this game is really terrible? It's not fun. All right, done. We're now going to go to the Atlanteans. They did not get these cards, so they just come out. Oh, and I had an unrest card, so I get -2 for that. So I'll just cross out a 2 I had. I'm like, unrest card. Hey, we're good. Now I actually have to subtract points for that. They only had 1 unrest card left. Woof. So what I'm going to do, again, we ignore their power card, and we're just going to count the points on everything else. So starter deck, point, starter hand, point. So many points. All right, the ones that have the asterisks, I'm going to put aside. And then they might win on that alone. They're going to get -2 points. I think that's their only unrest card. That's bananas. So -2. Region. Point. Region. Starter hand. None of these have points. Yeah, that's all. They have 5 asterisks. Oh, that's game. 6 asterisks. They destroyed me. Yeah, I mean, even trying to finish this game soon, we went through the entire draw deck. Like, that's not a good sign. I don't think you could rush it quick enough. I mean, they just got so many. The way the cards came out, like so many times, it was like, oh, they make that card disappeared. Oh, look at that, 5 points for them. Excellent. Yeah, there's definitely an approach issue that I'm having here. Oh, that's also an asterisk. Those go there. Asterisk. Point. Asterisk. This is nuts. Region. Tune in the solo playthroughs. Watch Greg get destroyed. Point. Asterisk. Another 5 points. 1 point. 3 points. Woof. Woofy points. Alright, this can go here. These can go. What is this? Who's doing this? Yeah, it's fine. We'll do the rest of this later. Alright. So, counting their points, they get 5 points for each of these cards. I mean, that's so freaking bananas. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 55 points right there. I could put that in their development deck. Greens, they got 4 tributary cards that all had 5 points each. So 55. Oh, they had another one? 60. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, they had another one. I just somehow put it in the wrong thing. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 32. I'll round that down to 30 and eliminate that. That's 90. That's still 113. And I got less. 48. 73. So I lost by 40. That seems about right. I mean, but again, sorry about this. But again, like one of my issues with this game is like I don't know. Did I know I was losing by 40? I didn't think I was winning. I didn't think I was losing by 40. Like it's so weird. Like the scoring and the gameplay just feels so like divorced from each other that I, I really struggle with this game. And like I struggle with it in a way that makes me want to get better at it, but also makes me wonder if it's worth like is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Is like the game good enough and strategically sound enough, or is it like there's so much level of I just need to have the right cards to. I mean, how do I prevent the Atlanteans from getting 12 5 point cards when they're gonna pretty much guarantee to get 2 because they have 2 of them in their deck, and they're doing so much to just acquire cards. I mean, I almost feel like I have to blitz this game even more, right? Like I have to like just do 2 of my quests, move the heck on, but I need my little piggy out there to even play Empire cards. I mean, there's an interesting puzzle. This might just be a really horrendously bad matchup, right? Like I might have to, hey, if you're playing against the Atlanteans, I'm better off playing with like as like the Morians or the Egyptians or someone that's a little bit more straightforward. So that's like a level of this game that, you know, I mean, more experienced players. I'm curious to get some comments as I start rolling in the next few days about different strategies. And if it's like one of those things like, oh yeah, it's a terrible matchup, then I'm like, I don't know. I mean, there's terrible matchups in other games that like they just for some reason like that's not gonna make me love this game more for whatever reason. Let me get my piggy out. Piggy, where are you? There you are. There you are, Piggy. Twitch, twitch. So, and I think it's if I do think there's a level of, my ignorance of like the subject material that this game deals with that it doesn't have like the resonant touch points that like take like block by block. Like is block by block a great game? Probably objectively, it's a very good game, I think objectively. Subjectively, it becomes that much better for me because I have some touch points with that game. Not that I flipped over police vans in my life, but again, I worked as a criminal defense attorney. I was in politics in Philadelphia for a pretty very intense period of my life. So like I understand like some of the dynamics at play between like the unions and the neighbors groups, and the students and their involvement in like local politics and being politically active and progressive issues. So like for me that game is a lot of touch points, whereas like this game, like I said, I don't know the subject matter all that well. I'm interested in it, but I don't think it's resonating for me the way I want it to. And when you add in a production that I still don't love, and when you add in a just the stupid things like lack of a score sheet, like lack of like giving like lack of player aids that really make sense, like I have to rip this out of the book just to make it usable. um I start getting like less and less interested in this game, even as I'm drawn to want to get better at it. Like, will I run this back to try to win this on my own? I don't know, maybe. I mean, a definite maybe. How about that? Jonathan, glad a little bit of rant made it in after all. And it's bad. It's bad form. Right? It sounds like sour grapes. So I just got my ass kicked. So like, I'm aware of that. But like, dude, I mean, I played Zeds for 6 hours yesterday, and I lost in an epic string of rolls, and I still was like, I just love that game, right? Like, I was frustrated. I was really frustrated, but I still was like, I was happy that I had played it. I was happy that I got that close. I was happy that it was Zeds, and I wasn't sitting there like criticizing the game. Like, and I think that's the problem. There for some reason, like this game is like it brings out something in me that I'm like, I just want it to be better, and I'm just like, the publisher didn't do a lot to make me love this game. They distinctly almost did things to put up hurdles that were just kind of inexcusable, like in the production. So like, I'm like, if you don't want to show me, like if you don't want to give me the best product that you could have, like why do you expect me to sit here and kind of muddle through five more matchups of the Atlanteans versus the Arthurians just to see if I can figure out a combination that works? Um, I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I could see why people. The more I played it, like, because when I started with this game, I was like, I didn't think. I mean, it made my top 24 as a game that I wanted to play more and I was interested in, but I was already like, like I'm definitely like not there anymore. I'm definitely like, all right, like I see the allure. It's just not resonating for me the way I want to, and I have a playthrough like this where I don't know what else could I have done. I mean, yeah, like I saw some things that I was doing wrong. It's like, oh, that's how I get a tributary card. Okay, but then by the time I had like the matchups in my hand to maybe get a tributary card, of course there weren't any tributary cards available, and you gave me a deck that doesn't have any options for breaking through for tributary cards. So that's not great. I'm struggling to play Empire cards. That's costing me points. You give me the Atlanteans. I mean, that's a brutal attack ability for an Empire that's getting as many attack cards as this Empire will, because just the way they're going to start getting those attack cards. I mean, like with the acquires is like, wow, dude, like you're making me recall a land, lose a point, and they get a card that's probably going to give them 3, 4, 5 points. I mean, that's a huge swing. And now I've recalled. So now I got to spend my actions playing that on the next turn. Like, unless you're getting one of those cards early that gives you the ability to do extra actions, like, I just don't know how you're going to keep up. But then even extra actions is bad because now I'm going through my nation deck quicker, which gets me to the point where I have to start, getting rid of my knights. Look, there's a puzzle in there that again, there is still part of me that's like, man, I really want to figure out how to make that hum, but I lost by 40. Like I'm not especially close. So like how many games is it going to take me just to figure that out enough that this would be a fun matchup? And that I don't have a great answer for sure. Um and put these cards here as I organize this set. I'm doing the reboxing video. For those of you who weren't there yesterday, talking about how I think unboxing videos are kind of silly. Like it is what it is. But someone was like, I should do reboxing videos where I'm like, oh, this is how I box my games back up. Be funny. All right, that I think we're good. These are here. I'm sure everyone's riveted by this amazing video display. Whew. Bought a playmat off Etsy, and it really does improve it. Would have been simple to at least add a board. Eric Bergman, you really want to like it, but you don't. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think that's well said. I think that's well said. The scoring breakdown is a barrier for me too, as much as I like the game. Yeah, the scoring for a game where the scoring is this confusing. I mean, how many games? I mean, you just take it for granted. Like, think about how many games just have a little score sheet. That would be super annoying if they didn't. I mean, Seven Wonders Duel, Agricola, Caverna, like the number of games that give you that score sheet, like you can't treat this like Dominion where all you're doing is, oh, great, I just have to count shields. It's like, no, dude, I got like these over here and this over here, and like there's so many different layers of it. Um, and so many cards that you're kind of going through, and you have to work garrison or history or like, yeah, it's a super big miss for me. And I know like Nemo's War was like a similar miss, but then I found that app, which is amazing. I freaking love that app. Whoever like designed that app, that dude should charge like $1 a use, and I would pay it. I wonder if there's if someone could develop something similar for this, but I think it'd be a lot harder too because there's a lot more mechanics at play. Nemo's where it's like, hey, here's your 12 scoring categories. What was your motivation? This is how those changes things. Now you can just input what you need to input. This would be, I think, a lot harder. Um, be downing. I like dishonest opinions and playthroughs to support the opinion. I think that's one of the reasons I do playthroughs. I mean, just and stick to playthroughs. I think if I just did reviews, if I did reviews of games I love, it's what's the big deal, right? But even like there's games I love that I know that other people might not love. So like even like, hey, I love this game. Like I know Uprising is a big, sprawling, massive game with a lot of randomness. Here's a playthrough. I love it, but you might not like that. Like games I don't like, I would hate to get on the my channel, whatever following I have or may not have or may continue to grow into, and just like bash a game for 20 minutes. And I'm not even bashing this one or just saying negative things about a game without like showing you, hey, here's the level of understanding I have of this game. I'm not by any means an expert in Imperium Legends. I still have a lot to learn if I really wanted to get good at this game. But here's my level of understanding. Here's my level of gameplay. And these are the things that bother me about it. But I still like it enough that I want to put it on the channel. If I didn't, this is my third video of Imperium. I assure you, if I hated this game, it would have been one. Right? I cannot think of, after Robinson Crusoe, which I put on the channel 7 times, as I was like getting very tired of that one. Um, I really only feature games that I like on some level. If it's a review copy, great. I'll put it on the channel once. It's not getting a second playthrough if I don't love it, right? It's not getting a second playthrough. I might like it. I might like it a lot. It might only get one playthrough, so it's not a total like, oh, it only had one playthrough. Greg must not like it. I mean, some games like I love Madara, but Madara is not great for video. It's not great for this channel. Um, for a lot of it, it's just a big sprawling campaign game. I find campaign games in general are tough. Some games just aren't deep enough to warrant a second playthrough. Like Friday's a great game. Like I love it. It's fun for me. It's a travel game for me, but like I might get it back on the channel, but hey, there's not that much there, right? So there is that balance. But yeah, if I don't like a game, I'm definitely only featuring it once for sure. Saget still going. That is madness. Saget. I don't know, man. I know you love this game, so you need to you need to tell me if this is just a broken matchup because I lost by 40, and honestly, that was an improvement over the. I think I lost by 80 last night, so you know I'm getting there. So if I keep having how much I lose by, I'll lose by 20, then by 10, then by 5, then by 3, and then we'll see. So I have at least like 5 games. Maybe I can pull it out. I don't know. I'm still I don't think I've cracked the code. And there was definitely parts of the Arthurians that I didn't figure out until turn 2. I was like, oh, that's how that's supposed to work. That's interesting. So P Downing, never knew that app existed. Yeah, dude, it's so good. If it's on my playthroughs, let me see, for Nemo's War, it's fantastic. Where are you? Nemo's War. It is called Nemo's Calculator. Yeah, it's so good. If you play Nemo's War, you want that app. It's ridiculous. Eric Bergman, I gotta go. Have a nice day, Greg. You too. Sajid, well, I guess I will need to watch the whole thing to figure out how we got here. Atlantis is the best nation currently. Um, they're really. I have a lot of fun playing as them. Playing against them seems hard. So, but that's about it. I should get going. I got some friends coming over. Settle Watts tomorrow. I don't know what time. It's gonna probably be a little bit later, but like noon, 1. I started today at 11, but it's gonna be super fun. So love that game. Next week, I'm gonna get Maze Night on as soon as I can. It's gonna probably be Monday or Tuesday. You can check over the weekend, see if I finally get the Canva up with the announcement, and then I'll see if I can stream 1 or 2 more times near the end of next week. But this is it, man. 2022 coming to a close, and it's absolutely crazy. Been a wild ride, been a lot of fun. Hope everybody's enjoying the holiday season, getting ready for some awesome time with family and friends and loved ones, hopefully, for everybody this weekend. And, get some solo gaming in there too if you can. Tis the season. We have Arthurians you need a bit of time with. They can become super strong. Yeah, I see it. I don't know. I might run this back. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll, we'll see if I have a couple of hours that I want to devote to this game in the next week. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe. Jonathan, happy holidays, y'all. Thank you, sir. Hope everyone's having a good one. I hope I will see you tomorrow. If not, whenever it is, until next time, thanks for joining me today and happy gaming.
Solo.